And right now, it seems Ahmad, Dr. Patrice Motsepe are just playing into the hands of FIFA. Let me begin with Tunde. How do you react to this?
First one, I'm gobsmacked. I'm disappointed. I'm heartbroken. And I'm furious. And honestly, I'm confounded. The honest truth is the Africa Cup of Nations is the biggest source of revenue.
Thank you.
For CAF.
Yes.
And even the same way the FIFA World Cup is the biggest source of revenue for FIFA. Now, this year alone, I think the postulated budget, I think, is $130 million revenue. Now, from that, they're supposed to make probably $113 million in profit after everything has been said and done. Now, if you have to host this every 4 years, how do you plug in the leagues? In the leagues, how do you plug in the gaps? The more tournaments you host, the more money that you can get, the more CAF is better funded, the more the national teams and other associations get money.
The more the players even get visibility.
So, and ever since, you talked about Issa Hayatu, you talked about Tessema, but the moment Ahmad became CAF president, this was when we basically opened the door to the hen coop and allowed the FIFA leopard into African football. And when you're asking rules to guard sheep, what do you expect? They will eat mutton. You're asking FIFA to come and to basically FIFA is like CAF is like a department in CAF. This Africa Cup of Nations was supposed to have been held in June, July. It was shifted because of the FIFA Club World Cup
competitions.
So CAF continues to bend over, bend to the left, bend to the right to accommodate FIFA, which ordinarily should never be the case. You would never find this in CONMEBOL, where the South Americans are hosting their tournament. They would never shift or into the Euros. You would never the AFC, the Asian Football Championship, holds right smack in the middle of the European window. They don't move it for anybody. Why is CAF the guinea pig, the testing ground for every single harebrained idea that FIFA comes up with?
Ibitayo, have Motsepe now watered down that heritage that stood strong under Issa Hayatu?
Under the former leadership, like before Ahmad, we had strong men in charge. We had men who they made decisions and others followed. Times have changed. I'm one that looked at reality and realized that the fact is what we had then is not what we have now. I was looking at the stats for the players. You see the French league, how many players coming from the French league, how many players coming from the EPL. Whether you like it or not, as long as the club sides, African football is not developed, this is what we'll be subjected to. Because the main protagonist of the game, the players themselves, what they look forward to is how do they get paid. Some of them, they might not say it, are hesitant coming to this tournament because it's smack in the middle of the season. To their paymasters who tell them, it's either you pick between us. If you go, recall when they told Mikel Obi, if you go, you won't get your spot back when you come back into the squad. So you have to think at everything, and the compromise to make might not look good, might make you look weak, which he has done to Motsepe. But it's the reality of times. It's just the reality of times. Our football in Africa, how many club sides in Africa can pay what they pay in reading? So if our stars are not in Africa, where we can control the time and every other thing, we have no say. Africa doesn't have the financial muscle, doesn't have the football strong men. So you are subject to what those that have the budget and have the power would say.
Okay, you're trying to tell me right now that Motsepe has just taken us 10 steps back or 50 steps back?
Is it really 10 steps back? Inevitably, the AFCON will come to 4 years. We can't be doing 2 years.
Okay, let's look at the other. Let's look at another.
I've never been a fan of the 2 years. So maybe it's me personally. I've never been a fan of the 2 years.
But everyone has.
I feel like you win 2 years later, you relinquish your title. How do you get to enjoy your title?
But it's all about is the financial play here, because Africa needs money. That's what we need, and we've not gotten to the level at which other confederations are. So we need money, and that's this competition. We've always said respect this competition. So when you water down this competition this way, you're playing into the hands of people who have said this is not the biggest competition ever.
To be honest.
Now, but let's look at the other angle. Having to host this 4 years, we've seen challenges where host countries are not ready because of the two-year term window. They're not always ready before this competition gets underway, and you have to push your hosting right to other countries who can carry the weight. Do you think this 4 years will work to curb that?
No, to be honest, the reason why a lot of people have actually moved it, they don't like the 2 years, is the fact that because we've never been definitive in terms of are we hosting it in the summer or are we hosting it in the winter. It never had to do with whether the host was ready or not. Hosts are always chosen at least 4, 5, 6 years before they even get to host.
Well, we know we've seen situations where host countries are not always ready.
Very true. But CAF has raised the standard, insisting that facilities across Africa must reach a certain standard.
Yes.
Which was why you noticed that in your report again, you described Morocco as a host for nomadic African teams who could not have the
qualifiers.
Doing the qualifiers. But it never really was to do with the quality of hosting a tournament in a particular region. It had to do with the fact that the finances were never right. You talked about something, saying that how many clubs in Africa can afford to pay, many of these clubs, many of these players what they're worth. So if they tell a Mikel Obi, for instance, that either you choose or you play or you stay, and if I said, I can go and play for Imba and I'll be earning $100,000 a week. There's that alternative to make. But there's also the issue of how does CAF plan to bridge that 4-year gap? They have to make money somewhere, and that's where maybe the African Nations League comes into play.
Yes, those are other decisions that were made in that particular party there. But he raised the amounts for the winner. Don't you think that would be a win in order to help, whatever country wins this competition, for the fact that it's going to be a 4-year circle right now? Don't you think that would be a win?
I'm afraid to. It's a win. But I'm afraid to compare
$10 million.
To compare it with what the Euro winners will get, I'm
trying to say that money here is not a problem. For him to raise it to $10 million US dollars, and we're being concerned that making it to 2 years makes us have a lot of funds, build funds. Maybe he's telling us that fund is not a problem.
He's also opening up to Europe. We gave them a big mega media deal for this AFCON. It's also opening up to them. I don't want to use the word paymasters, but sometimes you have to make, like I keep saying, sacrifice every day. Some difficult decisions that you have to take as a leader. And yes, some will look at you as a villain, some will look at you as a hero.
So are you saying he's taking the decision because he's got a mentality like a businessman? So he's running CAF.
He is a businessman. He is a businessman.
And he's taking risks.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not taking football decision per se. Football lovers would enjoy.
So Motsepe right now is the square peg in a round hole. Is that what you guys are painting right now?
No. Well, because you must understand that his background is primarily from business. He's one of Africa's richest men. Yeah. And he didn't get to that position by gambling, by hard-nosed business decisions,
running a club.
Running a club
successfully.
But basically, he's also made money as one of Africa's biggest mining magnates. So he's looking at it on a financial standpoint, but he's also not looking at it on a sporting standpoint. Do I have to wait 4 years before I see the best African national teams go to head-to-head? I don't think so. I'm not interested in that.
And then it begs the question. Hold on. Begs the question, is it a unilateral decision? There's a board.
No, for him to announce it is
there's a board. If he's business-minded, what about the board?
He can't make that announcement without the board giving unilateral agreement.
We have people who are football-oriented, part of the board. So if they come to an agreement,
I think I want to agree with him. The honest truth is that the way it's many of CAF decisions have been taken, you get the impression that it's almost as if it's a fiat. This is how it's going to be.
But there's no smoke right now. There's no smoke that has been raised.
Until then.
At least you know that at all we've seen smoke coming up,
Until then.
So let's wait until then. But let's move on straight quickly. We have another news update. Mauritania has officially shifted from West Africa to North Africa after being approved by the Confederation of African Football. Now, when this decision was made, gentlemen, I asked myself, is this football-wise or geopolitically and geographically, now they've moved to North Africa? Is this decision, in all collective or just football-wise? Ibitayo? Because this is going to affect a lot of things.
It's more about politics than football. You look at their flag already, you already know where they stand, and we say...
What's in their flag that makes me know where they stand?
They will tell you they're Arabs. They say it. Not I, they say it. Let's not... Sometimes we like to be politically correct.
Is actually correct.
We don't pretend.
The honest truth is that Mauritania is the only Arab-speaking country within the WAFU region. So they might feel
they're more affiliated to the northern Africans than the West Africans.
Yeah. So what had happened is, did they just wake up from their slumber to make this change? Because we've had competitions where they have been competing in the West African zone.
How many?
Yes.
Group A.
How many? You ask yourself.
Cadet competitions, youth competitions.
How many competitions have you ever seen Mauritania presenting?
It's not like they will qualify in the North too.
No, exactly. So how many competitions have you ever seen them actually even competing? So they never were really a part of WAFU, whether WAFU A or WAFU B. Yeah. So it seemed as if they were doing WAFU a favor. Yeah. So if they feel they want to go to North Africa, good luck to them. But like you said, even it makes it harder for them because they are competing against Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, Morocco, teams that will annihilate them in a minute.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, but that decision has been made by Mauritania right now, but they will be competing on the North African zone.